bucket seats. Nice truck, low miles. Is exceptional for not seeing any sort of oil. There's a little bit of rust under here, but it's all stuff that can be cleaned up nicely. Everything's high under here. Oil pan looks nice. Transmission pan looks nice. Massive heavy duty dump body on this truck. These trucks like the rust up here as well, and this is nice and clean. There's no serious rust or anything. Truck just went into high idle. It's good. Window works. It's nice. F-550 XLT. Driver's side, I mean, there's some scaling going on, but it's definitely savable. Four-wheel drive too. That's good to see that these are freed up. These are never ever free. Guy just put new brakes on it too. Brake lines look good. The dump body could use a little bit of patchwork. But look how big this thing is. This is a huge body for this truck. Dump body seems to work nice. And the truck looks rusty, but just some heavy surface rust, I guess, and it's savable. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it's savable. The fuel tank leaks a little bit. That's gonna need to be replaced for sure. Nice toolbox. Tires seem to be all nice on this truck too. Clear coat's really bad on the hood here. Fenders, I mean, it's faded, but that could probably end up getting cleaned up. The hood definitely needs a repaint. Brakes feel good. Sounds like the driver's side exhaust manifold's leaking a little bit. Doesn't want to pull it all, goes nice and straight down the road. Transmission feels nice and strong. Seems like the truck's got plenty of power. Honestly, yeah, this thing goes down the road nice. Going 50 miles an hour right now. There's no shakes or anything. This truck does feel pretty good. Alright guys, she's coming home. We made a deal. It's going to be a fun project. Back to New Hampshire. Look at this little deer. We're going to be loading up the plow for this truck. 290D. An old girl. This is a plow. Nice Boss V-plate coming with it. Plow's frozen on the ground. Perfect! patches of frost here already. Claire's in the Cummins there. We're on our way home. Let's go. Hopefully smooth sailing. Gonna be a fun project truck here. Make sure she's got a full tank for the ride home. Everything's going smooth so far. Alright, hit the road. Guys, just crossed over into Vermont. Look at the mountains out there. Truck's sitting at about 2300, 2400 RPM right now. It's doing good. These 550s have the big tall gears in them, like 488 gearing in these trucks, so they don't go that fast. They rev out quick too. But they tow nice. They tow really good. 8% grade we're going down right now. Truck is performing awesome. Pulling up the hills and going down the hills just like it should. Very happy with it. Alright, we made it back to Keene, New Hampshire here. Taking a break to get some food because we're starving. Been driving all day, haven't eaten anything. Truck's been performing great. Let's keep her going. Alright guys, I just made it home. It's late. We ran out of daylight. This truck runs literally amazing. Very happy with it. I'm gonna catch you guys in the morning and we'll give a full walkthrough and detail on the truck on what's in store for this thing. 3, 2, 1, boom. This is a 2001 Ford F-550 XLT with a 7.3 liter Power Stroke in it, and it's 4-wheel drive, and it's got an automatic transmission, and it has very low mileage. This truck only has 54,000 miles on it. I'm sure if you guys are watching this, or if you guys are interested in 7.3s, you know that it is very common to see these motors with literally 300,000 to 400,000 miles on it, and they're still kicking around like they have 50,000 miles on them. And there's hotshot guys that drive across the country with 750, 800,000 miles 7.3s, and they're just still kicking along. These motors, if you maintain them, are literally bulletproof. This is a very reliable truck. This is going to be a very nice work truck for someone, hopefully. All right, there's the 7.3 right there, guys. So right off the bat, when you guys first saw me start this truck, they don't plug this thing in, which I was very happy with when I showed up. The batteries were weak, but on the ride home, it seems like they charged up well. So this truck has absolutely no blow-by. As you saw, while I was running, I took the oil fill cap off, and no smoke, and the cap didn't want to blow off, and it sat nicely on the fill tube there, the fill neck. And another thing I saw about this motor is it is nice and dry under here. It's not leaking anything. Because these 7.3s do leak oil pretty bad, actually. The transmission lines look good. which I was happy to see that as well. Transmission pan's dry. So the mechanical issues with the motor that I found driving home yesterday was, I'm about 95% positive the driver's side exhaust manifold gasket is leaking. It sounds like it's coming from this side anyway. The passenger side sounds quiet, but I got to double check. But we're probably going to end up replacing a exhaust manifold gasket. And I did notice the truck was running very cool. It wasn't really climbing up into the normal range. It actually would drop, like driving home, it actually dropped down into the C still. It dropped below the normal line on the gauge there. So I'm wondering if the thermostat's either stuck open or not existent, because the water pump, as you can see here, right here, this big new shiny piece of metal, that's the water pump. It's been replaced. So I wonder if they just put the original thermostat back in it, or they didn't put one in it. So I'm gonna have to investigate on that. But other than that, like I said, truck doesn't leak a drop. That's the only thing I need to do the motor on this thing. So I'm very happy to see that. Another mechanical thing I'm gonna need to take care of is the e-brake right here, because it broke off. So we're gonna have to replace that section e-brake there. Not a big deal. It's just this truck's never seen any sort of fluid film or oil, so it's pretty common in my area. The last thing is the fuel tank actually is leaking, I think. I haven't investigated much, but it is wet back here. You can kind of see the wet spots. So it's a common problem on these trucks. So I'm assuming this fuel tank needs to be replaced. I'm gonna have to see where it's leaking from, take it down. But that's another thing that will need to be addressed. The truck does have brand new rotors and pads on all four ends, which I was very, like, literally brand new with like 200 miles on them. Pads and rotors literally all around, all four corners. Pumped about that. Next, I guess let's go over the actual body of the truck. Gonna be mostly cosmetic things. Bumper is rusted through right here, and then there's a dent right here as well. So these, I have a junkyard close by, so honestly I'd probably would like to put a new bumper on it. It would just make it look nicer. And I would like to get the 2002 to 2004 headlights for this, because these headlights just look like it's from the 70s. It just look very ugly. I think it would just kind of make the truck look a lot nicer. So that's another thing. And as you can see here, definitely am going to be repainting the hood. Very bad clear coat damage on this thing. This is all going to need to be redone. I think the fenders and the doors and the roof, I should be able to clean up with a quick buff. Well, not a quick buff, it's going to take a while, but I should be able to clean up and get some shine back on this thing. The wheels, I'm going to take the wheels off and repaint them to the factory color there, because I hate when you see it around. People spray paint these truck wheels like white or black, or it just looks terrible. I want to have this truck look as factory as possible, so we're going to paint them the original color that they came with. And other than that, I think that's all that really needs to be done to the actual body of the truck. Moving on to the dump body, I just want to start off by saying this body is very heavy duty, and it is literally such a nice body. I like this thing a lot. This body, it just seems like it's going to be perfect for like firewood deliveries or mulch jobs, or any sort of brush or logs or stuff like that. And obviously you can put like 3 to 4 yards of stone or screened loam or any sort of material in there, because it's a 550, so it can handle it. But the plan for this is obviously around the tire section. You got all these holes here, I mean, just from over the years. So we're gonna need to patch all these holes up, because that looks really bad. The truck also has a nice cold door too. That's really nice. And the other thing is, this body is like something you'd see like on a tri-axle or something. You don't see these on like 550s or 350s. This piece right here, this is so when you dump the truck, the material slides off this and gets away from your toe plate here, and you don't get a mess on your hitch or anything, or get into the lights. This is actually very nice. I like to see this on this truck, actually. I kind of wish I had that on my 550. Same on the other side. This is all got to get patched up. New sheet metal welded on that. The body's painted the same color as the cab, and it does have a clear coat on it too. You can see the clear coat peeling off right there, which I thought that was kind of cool. But it's going to be very expensive to kind of paint it back to the factory green probably. So my thought was, after I get everything patched up, was to wire wheel everything down and sand off the clear coat, and probably honestly end up brushing the body black. I've done that on one of my old trucks. It really holds up nice. So that's probably going to be another thing. And then we got to also address the taillight section. This is just obviously from the salt and stuff, just it's all rotted out right here. This whole panel needs to be replaced. There's no saving that thing at all, unfortunately. It's just from the wheels kicking up all the salt and dirt, not being washed. But the cross members on this body, I mean, look at them. They're nice. It's only surface rust in all of them, even under the tire. Like, they're good. So I was happy to see that. So that is the only other thing we got to do on the body, is get this piece replaced on both sides. So basically we went through the mechanical things, the actual body of the truck, the dump body itself, and now we move on to the gross part, unfortunately. So let's put this body up. So you can kind of see underneath the body here now, it's just some heavy surface rust basically. Nothing, I guess no serious rot other than the places I showed you. So that's good to see that. I'm pretty happy to see that. And then on the subframe of the body here, this piece running along here, and then the frame itself, it's just some, I guess what you could call it, I know if you're from down south and you don't see salt, this is probably this truck's absolutely rotted out to you, which technically probably I fully agree with you because you guys don't see salt. But this is just some like heavy surface rust with some scaling on everything. So what my plan is to do on everything down here is to wire wheel it and needle scale everything, kind of hammer and chisel all the flaking off. And then we're gonna need to do the same thing for underneath the cab here. The cab it's not rust free. It's a clean, workable cab on this truck. It's not too far gone so I can save this. I'm gonna, same thing with the frame, I'm gonna kind of needle scale everything, wire wheel it, and kind of get all the flaking off, any heavy rust. But there's no serious rot on this cab here. So my plan is to, once I get everything off on the entire frame, underneath the cab, all the rust starting, I am going to, as you guys have seen before, I love fluid film. Absolutely love it. So I'm gonna absolutely load this truck up with fluid film underneath the body, the frame, everything underneath the cab, front of the frame. Literally everything's getting coated in fluid film very heavily. I love it. These two trucks are loaded up with fluid film right now. Just kind of give you an idea. I love this stuff. I just did this truck so it kind of looks wet right now. This fluid film, like as you can see right here, I didn't spray this inner fender here. You can kind of see it's just working its way all around here. Fluid film kind of, when you spray it on there and you get a nice warm day, it'll expand and wrap itself around and create a blonde. So it's just great stuff. It keeps all the rust away from vehicles. This truck does get driven in the salt weather, and it's nice even underneath the cab. It's just all fluid film under here, but there's no rust or whatever, and it prevents rust from happening. So that is what I want to do with this truck. When you do start knocking some rust and stuff, it is a little bit worse once you kind of get all the flaky stuff away. So I might need to do a little bit of patching underneath the cab. But all in all, this truck is literally about to turn 24 years old, and for never seeing any oil or anything on a vehicle, this is a survivor, and I was happy to see that. Back in 2001, you got air conditioning, you got cruise control, you got power windows, power locks, power mirrors with heated mirrors. Like, this is a nice truck. This is a really nice work truck for someone. But anyway, my plan with the interior, it doesn't need any serious thing. I gotta figure out what's going on with the dome light there. I gotta put a new lens on that or something. So I'm gonna pull out the seats, and We're gonna vacuum the seats out very well, clean off any stains, and then the carpet, we are going to vacuum it the best we can. We might end up pulling the carpet out because it's, I don't know, there's a lot of sand and stuff that have been built up in here. So at minimum, the seats are coming out, we're vacuuming the carpet hardcore, and we're going to try to get all the stains out and just clean it up. And then we're going to kind of clean off any stains on the dash or the door cards. But the interior itself, it just needs a really good detail. So there's nothing serious going on in here that needs to be done, which I was happy about. The last thing that needs to be done with this truck, as I mentioned before, it came with a plow. So I'm going to actually pull the plow frame off this truck. I'm going to take the wiring out and the plow frame off, because I just think this truck personally would just benefit it more and just be an all in all nicer truck with no plow on it. And the first owner is the only one that's plowed with this truck, so it hasn't seen that much plowing. And like I said, the second owner, who I bought it from, bought it in 2006. So this truck really only plowed from, I guess, I don't know, the first owner probably put it on brand new, so 2001 to 2006 I guess is when this thing's been plowed. So only a few years, which is good. And the truck, like I said, the truck only's got 54,000 miles on it, so it hasn't seen much plowing use. But I want to take the plow mount off and take the wiring off, and the plow itself is in the back here. I didn't really look into it. Oh, it's a big plow. Wow. See, I didn't look at the plow much. As you guys saw, it was legit frozen in the ground. Look at the dirt on the cutting edge down there, all around it. I mean, the cutting edge was completely buried, but there's no serious rot on the plow, so it looks like it's a 10-foot plow, a V-plow from Boss. So this is actually a nice plow. This is gonna serve someone quite well. This plow will be for sale. I'm going to be taking the plow frame off and the wiring, and I'm going to sell it all as a whole. So if you're watching this and you're in the Northeast and you're looking for a Boss plow for a 1999 to 2004 F-350, F-450, F-550, I have a Boss plow available. You can comment down below and get connected that way. Alright guys, so enough of me rambling on about this thing. Hopefully I gave you guys a pretty good detailed description and overview of this truck. I'm very excited about this truck and about what needs to be done to it, and see how good I can transform it and make it a good work truck. So this truck, after I'm done with everything, is probably going to end up being for sale. It's going to be a while. It's probably going to be at least a month from right when this video's posted to when it'll be available. But this truck likely will be for sale once I'm done with everything. Like I said, I want to make this just a good overall work truck for someone that's going to last a long time. And the biggest thing to make a truck last a long time in our area is protecting vehicles from rust. So like I said, this truck is like teetering on the edge of savable / it's gonna get really bad if something does not happen soon with this. So I'm hoping to save this truck and keep it on the road for many years to come, because these 7.3s, I mean, they're bulletproof. They're a great truck. So if you're interested in this and you want to watch this series, consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. I'm just, like I said, I'm excited about this truck here and see what happens to it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So we'll see you soon.